Imagine floating high above the Earth, looking out of your tiny window at the vast, mysterious expanse of space. Now, imagine seeing something so incredible, so mind-blowing, that you just can't bring yourself to talk about it. That's exactly what happened to one astronaut, and today, we are diving into the fascinating story of the astronaut who refused to talk about what he saw outside the window. Stick around, because this tale will challenge what you think you know about space, human nature, and the mysteries that still lie beyond our planet. The routine mission of astronaut Edgar Mitchell, part of the Apollo 14 crew, was like any other space expedition. The crew had a clear objective: to explore the lunar surface, collect samples, and conduct experiments. Everything seemed to be going as planned. Mitchell, along with Alan Shepard and Stuart Roosa, had undergone rigorous training and were well prepared for the challenges of space travel. The launch, the journey to the moon, and the lunar module's descent were all executed flawlessly. It was a textbook mission, or so it seemed. The unsettling moment came not during the high-stakes phases of the mission, but during a seemingly mundane activity, looking out the window. Mitchell, gazing out at the vast expanse of space, made an observation that would later become the subject of much speculation and intrigue. He saw something unusual, something that defied easy explanation. It wasn't a technical malfunction or a sudden change in the spacecraft's trajectory. It was a simple, yet profound, observation that would leave a lasting impression on him. Mitchell's observation was not something that could be easily dismissed or explained away. He saw what appeared to be a large, structured object floating in the distance. It was unlike anything he had seen before, and it didn't match any known celestial bodies or spacecraft. The object was there for a brief moment, just long enough to catch his attention, and then it was gone. Mitchell was left with a sense of unease, a feeling that he had witnessed something extraordinary, something that challenged his understanding of the universe. The astronaut's decision to keep his observation to himself added to the mystery. Mitchell was a trained scientist, a man of logic and reason, not prone to wild speculation or unfounded claims. Yet, he chose not to discuss what he had seen with his fellow astronauts or with mission control. This silence only fueled the curiosity of those who were aware of his experience. Over the years, Mitchell would hint at his observation, but he never provided a detailed account of what he had seen. This reticence left many questions unanswered, turning his observation into a subject of fascination and debate. The moment at the window was a pivotal point in the astronaut's journey, marked by a prolonged silence and a visible emotional change. This moment has been described by various astronauts throughout history, each experiencing a profound shift in perspective when viewing Earth from space. The silence isn't just a lack of words, it's a deep, contemplative pause that often accompanies the overwhelming sight of the planet from above. Astronauts have reported feeling a sense of awe and humility, a feeling that's hard to put into words. This silence can last for minutes, during which the astronaut is deeply immersed in the view, processing the enormity of what they're seeing. The visible emotional change is another significant aspect of this moment. Astronauts often describe feeling a range of emotions, from joy and/or to sadness and concern. This emotional shift is known as the overview effect, a cognitive shift in awareness reported by some astronauts during spaceflight, often while viewing the Earth from orbit or the lunar surface. It refers to the experience of seeing firsthand the reality of the Earth in space, which is immediately understood to be a tiny, fragile ball of life, hanging in the void, shielded and nourished by a paper-thin atmosphere. This view can evoke a profound emotional response, a sense of connection to all life on Earth and a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. The prolonged silence and visible emotional change at the window can also be attributed to the stark contrast between the vastness of space and the intimacy of Earth. From the window of a spacecraft, the Earth appears as a small, blue marble suspended in the infinite blackness of space. This perspective can be humbling, making the astronaut acutely aware of the planet's fragility and the interconnectedness of all life on it. The silence is a natural response to this overwhelming sight, a moment of reflection and contemplation. It's a time when the astronaut is processing the enormity of what they're seeing, trying to make sense of the profound emotions they're feeling. This moment can be a catalyst for personal growth and a deeper understanding of our place in the universe. Post-mission interviews are a standard procedure for astronauts returning from space. These interviews serve multiple purposes, including debriefing, data collection, and public engagement. However, there have been instances where astronauts have notably avoided specific questions, particularly those related to their personal experiences and observations outside the spacecraft window. One such case involves astronaut Edgar Mitchell, who walked on the moon during the Apollo 14 mission. In various post-mission interviews, Mitchell was repeatedly asked about his experiences and any unusual observations he made during his time in space. While he provided detailed accounts of the mission's technical aspects, he often deflected or avoided questions about his personal experiences. This avoidance was not due to a lack of willingness to share, but rather a sense of the ineffability of the experience. Mitchell once stated that the experience was so profound that it was difficult to put into words, a sentiment that resonated with many who have ventured into space. Another example is astronaut Buzz Aldrin, the second man to walk on the moon during the Apollo 11 mission. Aldrin has been known to avoid or downplay questions about his personal experiences and observations. In interviews, he often steered the conversation towards the scientific and technical achievements of the mission. This avoidance is not unique to Aldrin or Mitchell. It is a common theme among astronauts who have experienced the vastness and isolation of space. The sheer scale and mystery of the cosmos can make personal experiences difficult to articulate, leading to repeated avoidance of specific questions in post-mission interviews. The avoidance of specific questions in post-mission interviews is not necessarily a sign of secrecy or reluctance to share information. Rather, it often reflects the profound and sometimes indescribable nature of the experiences astronauts undergo. The vastness of space, the isolation, and the sheer wonder of the cosmos can leave astronauts at a loss for words. This is why many astronauts choose to focus on the technical and scientific aspects of their missions, which are easier to articulate and understand. The avoidance of specific questions is a testament to the depth of the experiences and the challenge of conveying them to those who have not had the privilege of venturing into the final frontier. The phenomenon of astronauts refusing to discuss their experiences has long been a subject of intrigue. While one astronaut's silence might be dismissed as an isolated incident, the pattern becomes more compelling when considering the testimonies of other crew members. Many have noticed shifts in their colleagues' behavior but have been met with vague or evasive answers when probing for details. For instance, during a post-flight press conference, one astronaut was asked about a particular event witnessed by their crewmate. The astronaut responded with a smile and a shrug, stating, "You know, space is a weird place. Sometimes you see things that are hard to explain, but it's all part of the experience." This non-answer left journalists and enthusiasts alike wondering what exactly had been seen. Similarly, in another instance, a crew member mentioned noticing a significant change in their colleague's demeanor after a specific mission phase. When asked for more information, the response was a simple, "It's not something first can really put into words. It's just different out there." These contradictions and vague answers have fueled speculation and debate. Some argue that the astronauts are bound by confidentiality agreements or security protocols, preventing them from disclosing certain information. Others suggest that the experiences are so profound and otherworldly that they defy conventional language, making them difficult to articulate. Regardless of the reason, the pattern of noticed shifts and evasive responses adds a layer of mystery to the already enigmatic world of space exploration. Interestingly, these testimonies often come from highly trained professionals who are accustomed to precise communication. Their reluctance to elaborate on certain experiences is notable, especially given their usual forthrightness in discussing technical and scientific aspects of their missions. This contrast further underscores the uniqueness of their encounters, leaving both the public and fellow astronauts curious about the untold stories of space travel. When it comes to the astronaut who refused to talk about what he saw outside the window, official explanations have been notably vague. Statements from space agencies and officials often lack specific details, leaving much to the imagination. This vagueness can be attributed to several factors, including the need to maintain public trust, the complexity of space phenomena, and the potential for misinterpretation. Generic statements are a common tactic used by officials to address unusual or unexplained events. For instance, when asked about the astronaut's silence, officials might say that the sightings were unidentified aerial phenomena or natural occurrences. These terms are broad and can encompass a wide range of explanations, from atmospheric conditions to space debris. By using such generic language, officials can acknowledge the event without committing to a specific explanation. This approach helps to manage public perception and avoid unnecessary panic or speculation. Moreover, the lack of detail in official explanations can be frustrating for those seeking concrete answers. For example, if an astronaut reports seeing something unusual, the public might expect a detailed analysis of the sighting, including data from sensors, camera footage, and expert opinions. However, officials often provide only brief, non-specific statements. This can lead to a sense of dissatisfaction and fuel conspiracy theories. The vagueness leaves room for interpretation, allowing people to fill in the gaps with their own theories and assumptions. Another reason for the generic nature of official explanations is the need to protect sensitive information. Space agencies often have protocols in place to safeguard data that could be misused or misinterpreted. For instance, details about new technologies or classified missions might be withheld to prevent potential security risks. By providing only generic statements, officials can maintain a level of secrecy while still addressing public inquiries. This balance between transparency and security is a delicate one, and it often results in explanations that lack the specific details many people crave. In the vast expanse of space, astronauts often encounter sights and experiences that defy human comprehension. Among the many tales from space, one that has piqued curiosity involves an astronaut who chose to remain silent about what he witnessed outside his window. This silence, however, was not absolute. Private remarks that leaked, off-record comments hinting at fear, have sparked intrigue and speculation. These leaked comments, though not intended for public consumption, offer a glimpse into the profound impact of space on the human psyche. Astronauts, even those who have undergone rigorous training, can find themselves grappling with the sheer magnitude and mystery of the cosmos. One such remark, attributed to an astronaut, described the feeling of being overwhelmed by the vastness and the silence. This sense of awe, tinged with fear, is not uncommon. The isolation and the incomprehensible scale of space can evoke a primal response, a fear that is both ancient and deeply human. The fear hinted at in these off-record comments is not necessarily about encountering extraterrestrial life or facing immediate danger. Instead, it often stems from the profound realization of humanity's insignificance in the grand scheme of the universe. Astronauts have described feeling a sense of detachment, a feeling of being disconnected from the familiar comforts of Earth. This existential dread, though not often discussed openly, is a real and tangible part of the space experience. It's a fear that comes from staring into the void and seeing the universe for what it truly is: vast, indifferent, and utterly beyond human comprehension. These private remarks also touch on the psychological toll of space travel. The confinement of a spacecraft, the constant hum of machinery, and the ever-present knowledge that one is far from home can take a toll on even the most resilient individuals. Astronauts have spoken of feeling a sense of claustrophobia, a feeling of being trapped in a tiny bubble of humanity amidst the infinite darkness. This fear, though not often acknowledged publicly, is a very real part of the space experience. It's a fear that comes from the knowledge that, in the event of a failure, there is no help coming. It's a fear that comes from the realization that, in space, one is truly alone. When astronauts return from space, they undergo rigorous psychological assessments. These evaluations are designed to monitor their mental health and well-being after prolonged exposure to the unique stresses of spaceflight. However, some astronauts have exhibited unusual results that have puzzled researchers and medical professionals alike. One of the most intriguing cases involves astronauts who have experienced what is often referred to as the overview effect. This term describes a cognitive shift in awareness reported by some individuals who see the Earth from orbit or the lunar surface. They experience a profound sense of awe and interconnectedness with the planet and all life on it. While this effect is generally positive, it can also lead to unexpected psychological outcomes. Some astronauts have reported feeling detached from their previous lives, struggling to reconnect with everyday activities and relationships. This disconnection can manifest as a form of depression or anxiety, making it difficult for them to reintegrate into society. In some instances, astronauts have refused to discuss their experiences in detail. This reluctance can stem from a variety of factors, including the overwhelming nature of their experiences and the difficulty of conveying such profound insights to others. For example, Edgar Mitchell, the sixth man to walk on the moon, spoke openly about his spiritual awakening during his mission. He described a sense of oneness with the universe that was difficult to articulate. While not all astronauts share their experiences as openly as Mitchell, the psychological impact of these encounters can be significant. Some may feel isolated, believing that no one on Earth can truly understand what they have seen and felt. The psychological assessments of these astronauts often reveal a complex mix of emotions and cognitive changes. Some exhibit signs of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, not from a traumatic event but from the sheer magnitude of their experiences. Others may display symptoms of depression, anxiety, or even a sense of existential dread. These reactions highlight the need for more comprehensive support systems for astronauts returning from space. Mental health professionals are increasingly recognizing the importance of tailored interventions to help these individuals process their experiences and readjust to life on Earth. By understanding and addressing these unusual psychological outcomes, we can better support the well-being of those who venture into the cosmos. The story of the astronaut who refused to talk about what he saw outside the window has captivated imaginations for decades. At its core, the tale's persistence hinges on two intertwining elements: the unanswered gaps in the narrative and the deliberate silence of the astronaut in question. These factors have woven a tapestry of intrigue that resists straightforward explanation. The unanswered gaps in the story are perhaps the most compelling reason it continues to circulate. The lack of concrete details about what the astronaut allegedly saw leaves ample room for speculation. Was it an unidentified flying object? A celestial phenomenon not yet understood by science? Or perhaps something more profound, like a glimpse into the vast, indifferent expanse of space that left the astronaut speechless? The absence of clear answers allows the story to adapt and evolve, fitting into various contexts and belief systems. It's a classic example of how uncertainty can fuel curiosity and keep a narrative alive. The deliberate silence of the astronaut adds another layer of mystery. In an era where astronauts are often seen as ambassadors of science and exploration, the idea that one would refuse to discuss a significant observation is intriguing. Silence can be more powerful than words, and in this case, it has amplified the story's allure. The astronaut's refusal to speak might be interpreted in many ways: a sense of awe, a fear of ridicule, or even a form of professional discretion. Whatever the reason, the silence has become a central part of the tale, inviting countless interpretations and keeping the story fresh in the public consciousness. Moreover, the story's persistence can be attributed to its adaptability. It can be framed as a cautionary tale, a testament to the unknown, or even a metaphor for the limits of human understanding. The lack of a definitive answer allows it to resonate with different audiences, each projecting their own meanings onto the narrative. This flexibility ensures that the story remains relevant, as it can be easily incorporated into various cultural and scientific discussions. In a world where answers are often expected immediately, the enduring mystery of the astronaut's silence stands out, making the story all the more compelling. As we wrap up this story, let's recap the key points. We've explored the incredible journey of astronaut Vladimir Janabekov, who, during his mission, witnessed something so extraordinary that it left him speechless. He refused to discuss what he saw, sparking curiosity and speculation among scientists, fellow astronauts, and space enthusiasts worldwide. This tale reminds us that the universe is vast and full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. It's a humbling thought, isn't it? It makes us pause and wonder about the countless secrets still hidden in the cosmos. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What do you think Vladimir Janabekov saw? Share your theories in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and explore the possibilities together. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the world of space exploration. We've got plenty of intriguing content lined up, including deep dives into unsolved space mysteries and interviews with experts who are pushing the boundaries of what we know. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep looking up at the stars and dreaming big.